everybody. Welcome to another episode of Felix's Helixes. Looks like we're episode 2, season 4, episode 2, Transgressive Border Crossing. I'm Karen, and I'm here with Steve. Hi, Steve.
Hey, Karen.
Woohoo! And we are a Southgate Media Group podcast. You can find us at southgatemediagroup.com, if I can speak correctly. And find us at Facebook at facebook.com/Southgate Media Group. So, what do we got for the info on the episode, Steve?
Well, Transgressive Border Crossing was written by Russ Cochran, who's done Rookie Blue and Flashpoint, and directed by the one and only John Fawcett, who was also did Rookie Blue, Flashpoint, Lost Girl, and Xena.
I wonder where they met.
Yeah.
You think maybe there?
More than likely, yeah.
Yeah, I'm thinking so. So, shall we give our ratings right up front?
Oh, let's do that.
Okay. I like this one. I'm going to preface it by saying that. I gave it 8.5 fighting sonograms. And let me do this just for Justina. They're fighting. There we go. And what did you give it?
Oh, I really enjoyed the episode as well. I gave it 9 shiitake mushrooms.
So you did Allison. Let me see how I can do there. Shiitake mushrooms. She was quite shocked by Felix's paintwear.
Yeah. Just a little.
Just a little bit. It looks like you're coming along nicely with your little project. I don't know why she's shocked.
No, she should know better by now.
Yeah, but not just that. She was heavily into like drugs and drink, and she can shoot very well.
Oh.
It's not like she's innocent.
No.
But when she walks in and she sees Felix's butt cheeks, all of a sudden she's the innocent little Allison. I just think it's interesting that she's such a contrast study.
Yes.
Very cute. She's very cute. And we do have a little bit of news up front, which I thought was very cool. The Mark Gordon Company, with Orphan Black co-creator Graham Mason, executive producing, is developing Whatever, Linda, for television. That's how you say it, apparently. And from IMDb, it says, inspired by America's recent financial crisis, Whatever, Linda is a wickedly dark comedy set in 1978 about 4 disenfranchised secretaries on Wall Street who become the engineers behind the world's most notorious Ponzi scheme. And then it says, Whatever, Linda is a Canadian web series created by Hannah Cheeseman and Julian Dezzotti. You can watch the original web series at www.whateverlinda.com. So check it out if you want, because it looks like Graham Mason's a huge fan, and he was the one that campaigned to make it into a TV show. Yeah. So you might want to check it out and see what the buzz is about. It looks kind of interesting to me. I'm thinking I'm going to binge it.
Yeah.
They're short little webisodes, so binging is probably like a couple hours. And then when the show comes out, it'll be it's going to be Canadian TV show again, like Orphan Black is. So
right.
It looks very good, and I love period dramas like *Halt and Catch Fire*. Right. Is set in the 80s and things like that, and I mean recent period dramas. I like fantasy stuff like Outlander and Game of Thrones, which is cool. But for some reason, I like the recent period dramas like *Halt and Catch Fire* and True. What is that one? True. Oh, what is that? It had
True Detective?
Thank you. That one, yes. True Detective, where it was like in the 80s.
Right.
Yeah, I really dig those recent history things because I guess I identify with it.
Right, yeah. I mean, we grew up in the 70s and 80s, so...
Right. So 1978 is kind of in my wheelhouse, too.
Yeah.
I remember that. I was just moving into my teens almost at that point, so... Sounds neat.
Out of high school, so...
Yeah. Very scary time it was, with the gas crisis and all that happening. Scary.
Yeah.
All right. So there's that. And I thought I'd give my story titles, and then we can just jump right into talking.
All righty.
Okay. The A story is those worms are really bugging them. And bugging meaning there's something odd going on with those worms, and we'll talk about that in a second. Artful art, because art caught the art.
Mm-hmm. I knew where you were.
Okay,
exactly
good.
What you meant there.
Excellent. Another twinneration, as in generation, but twins, yes.
Uh-huh.
And then meanwhile, hold on, where's my sound effect? Meanwhile, in the clone cave, and that's what I'm going to call it now, the clone cave.
Yep.
I love that, and that it's underneath the rabbit hole.
Yeah.
Comic shop. That's fantastic. So that's great. Well, the main storyline obviously is the worms and trying to track down all that.
Yes, it is.
And we get a glimpse into next week from the preview, and there are hints saying that they are mechanical in nature.
Yes.
Right? Okay, so I said the worms are really bugging them because I think that they might have some sort of a tracking device and a bugging device in them. Does that sound too off the mark, or what do you think?
Well, I know that was brought up on one of the reviews that I saw, and they kind of actually shut it down because they would have found Sarah, Mrs. S, Kendall, and Kira a whole lot sooner than they did.
Yeah, I don't think they're working as intended. I think they might have information that's stored inside them, though.
Right. Now, that could be true.
Yeah. Now, why they're putting them in other people, I wonder what's going on there.
Well, that's test subjects.
Right.
Those were prototypes.
They're obviously gathering information because they're extracting them.
Right.
So at least this is what I'm taking from them right now. I'm just speculating. And I'm guessing everyone is just speculating because we don't know yet. And really, we only know that Sarah has one at this point, right? We're seeing in the preview again next week that more of them have them.
Right.
But at this point, we only see that Sarah has one.
Right. And you have to assume that either MK does, and that's who they were after in the laundromat, or, and this will be a real shocker, they expected it to be Beth.
Right.
And so Beth isn't dead after all.
I would love that to be true.
Oh, yeah.
So who was it that jumped off of the...
Exactly.
Yeah, see, I would love Beth to be alive. I would really love that.
Yeah.
Was that maybe one of the clones that was really, really sick?
It could be.
Oh, see, this is...
we go all the way back to the very first episode and Sarah having to dress up as Katya.
Right.
And going to a hotel room.
Right. Right.
So who knows? Until we get that backstory, there's a whole bunch of possibilities open here.
Yeah, and the fact that she dons that wig and goes out and comes back with the gun and blood all over her hands, and then she has that interchange with MK, and then goes out. again, and no one knows what happens in that time.
Right.
Anything could have happened.
Yeah. She could have met with another clone and changed clothes, swapped clothes with her and...
Sure. I mean, it could be as simple as whatever she found out shook her and she killed herself.
Right.
Or there was something else happening and
Yeah.
Beth is still out there but in hiding.
Yeah.
Because, wow, I mean, a lot of things could have happened, definitely. And so I think Beth had one. Or has one, whichever.
Yes.
I'm pretty sure that anyone who was at Dyad has one.
Right.
So that means, and we saw that One Eye's back next week.
Mm-hmm.
Rachel. So that means that she probably has one. Kira, Little Miss Temper Tantrum, has one.
Right. And is Cosima and Allison, because they both have been there.
That's right. So all the clones we know of right now have one, except for maybe MK, unless MK started the whole thing off.
Right. And possibly, well, no, I bet Crystal has one too now.
Because she was there as well.
Uh-huh.
Yep, that's right. So,
Oh, Tony.
yeah, Tony wasn't there though, right?
No.
Although he had a handler.
Yeah, he did.
So if the handler had something to do with it, then all of them have them.
Right.
Wow. Yeah. So we have to find out what is happening with those. What is the dealio? And of course, after seeing that video, which is gross, right?
Exactly.
I mean, I've seen those videos on YouTube, and I'm not going to go into detail, but, videos of, like, popping zits and stuff, which is disgusting.
Right.
This was grosser because it was like a living thing, and it just popped out of the guy's face and crawled all over it.
Yeah.
I loved it, though.
Yeah.
Because I love gross. And I can't wait for my husband to watch it. He waits a few days and watches it because he knows I talk about it.
Right.
Sometimes he'll watch the show with me, but I think he's one behind. So, which means he hasn't started the season. But when he watches it, I can't wait to see what he says about the wormy thing.
Right.
Of his face. But they won't be able to try and get it out because they have seen that video.
Right.
Right?
Yeah. And, unless they can figure out that it actually is electrical, mechanical, and organic and come up with some kind of way to disable the mechanical and the electrical part of it.
Right.
Beforehand.
They'll have to, right. They'll have to find a way to, quote unquote, kill it.
Right.
Before they extract it.
Mm-hmm.
And they don't even know right now if killing it would cause problems. I mean, They're going to have to really do some heavy-duty testing.
Yeah, they need to get a hold of one.
Right. One that's already out.
Yeah.
Because if they test on one that's in someone, they could run into big-time problems. I say test on the one that's in Rachel.
Yeah.
Right?
Exactly.
Except for it looks like she's starting to try and integrate from the preview. And I'm going to try not to talk about the preview anymore. I really shouldn't, but it's just that I just watched the preview a minute ago. So
Right.
But she is coming up. It looks like all the clones are going to be in this season. And maybe some other clones as well.
Yes.
But I do not like this worm thing that's going on. I don't like it. It's bugging me as well as them with whatever's happening. And yuck. So, and Helena probably has one too, right?
I don't think so.
No, she might be the only one that doesn't.
Yeah. Because I don't believe Helena's ever stepped foot into Dyad.
So let's keep her away from that, right?
Yes. Please.
Yeah, she doesn't need that with the babies.
No.
With the twins.
Yes.
They are fighting. Look, they are fighting. She loves those babies already.
Oh, God, yes.
So cute. Let's talk about that right now, since we're talking.
Okay, we'll jump into that, because
Jump into that.
Awesome.
Okay, she and Donny pretending to be married.
Well, Donny pretending to be married. She kept bringing up her boyfriend.
I know. She is so stubborn. She cannot get it through her mind that she needs to pretend.
Right.
So she wants to have a boyfriend. He's my boyfriend. And she can't say married husband. She can't say that. It's always boyfriend. I want to have sex with my boyfriend. And, but Donny's like, no, she's my wife. And of course it's to commit insurance fraud.
Right.
But you kind of feel okay with it because she's a clone. So it is kind of like Allison, right?
Yeah.
I'm scrunching my nose up. Like, you gotta walk that line. So, yeah, okay. She can't have kids, so it's not like she's going to be using this doctor anytime soon.
No.
I don't know. It's hard for me to hate on her using the insurance because she's had a hard life.
Yes.
And it would be impossible for her to get insurance.
Yeah, it sure would.
Yeah. So they go in and they use Allison's insurance, and I love that she is so confident in herself that she says that Allison's hair was ugly.
Oh,
great, right?
Yes.
Just everything that comes out of Helena's mouth is gold.
Yes.
Yes, I changed it. It was ugly. So great. I love her so much. I really do. And they are just so happy to see the babies on the sonogram, both of them.
Oh, good Lord, yes.
It was so heartwarming to see that Donny is also very, very charmed by her and has a soft spot for her.
Oh, yeah.
And sees those babies and thinks of them as like part of his family.
Mm-hmm.
So sweet. And him saying, is that a foot? That's a foot. So cute.
You know he was thinking it was something else.
Yeah, I know. And the fact that they're identical twins.
Mm-hmm.
Fantastic. That means another generation of identical twins.
Yes.
And that must be something that's ingrained in those two. Except
or it was something that Henrik actually engineered.
Did on purpose.
Yeah.
Did he implant two? No, he would have had to implant one because they're identical.
Mm-hmm.
But he might have split them.
Right.
Yeah. I wonder, well, they made a big deal out of it. Makes me wonder if Kira has a twin.
It's very possible.
Although Sarah would know, right? She'd know.
You would think she would, but
yeah.
What are the odds that she actually had proper health care during her pregnancy?
That's true.
So she might not have known.
The show makes me think weird things all the time, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
It does that to you.
I know. It makes me think all kinds of things, all kinds of conspiracy theories. Definitely. Yeah, but I love that scene in the doctor's office. I think that was my favorite scene in this whole episode. And it's not that the rest of it wasn't good. It's just that when you want heartwarming in Orphan Black, it's few and far between. heartwarming. And to see that in this show, in this episode, was so nice.
Yes.
To get that heartwarming
Mm-hmm.
scene. And it's quick and over too soon because in that household, that household's going to get complicated quickly.
Yes, it is.
Do you want to talk about that? We only got a little glimpse into what might be going on there.
Yeah, Allison is green-eyed to the max here.
Right.
Complaining about Helena being messy and eating all their food and messing up her craft room and just everything.
Yeah. Yeah, and it makes me sad because I think Donny is really not in love with her, but kind of like sisterly towards her.
Right.
In a very, very sweet way.
Yes.
And I think Allison really should feel that way too. But also when you live with your sister, there's that sort of sandpapery thing as well. And especially if you're like your sister. And she definitely sees herself in her sister a little bit.
Right.
You know, they're clones, obviously. So there's going to be some similarities, even as different as they are.
Right.
But she is messy and she eats a lot, and that is driving her insane. I can see that.
Yes.
She is so OCD.
Yes. And, you know, the very first time we see her, she's doing jazzercise or something, just going to town with her workout. And
Zumba? Is it Zumba? I don't know what it is. It's dancing, whatever it is. And she is working it.
Yeah.
She did a great job with that. I thought Tatiana knows how to dance.
Uh-huh.
What a great job. Yeah, and she is definitely working out some aggression in that dancing.
I would say so.
Yes, because she really went to town on it. And she answers the phone. This is where all the phone calls come in.
Right.
From... Who is it from? Is it from Sarah?
Yes.
Yeah. Saying that they all have to kind of meet up because she's coming back.
Yep.
Yeah. Unfortunately, prematurely.
Yes, very.
Very. Yeah, I like how and this is at the beginning of the episode, obviously. She says, okay, we got a warning, we got to go home. And no one believes her until Kira goes to the window and says, they're coming. And then there are 3 lights.
Yes.
Sorry, it's my Star Trek.
Yes, it is.
Of course, it's 4 lights on Star Trek, but in this case, there were only 3.
There's
and yeah, and we know that not a lot of time has passed.
Yes, and that was what was absolutely amazing, that we got that bit of information from all people but Felix.
Right. Right?
Mm-hmm.
Well, and you could see it in Helena because her pregnancy is not that far along.
Right.
I mean, that was the huge clue that not a lot of time has passed.
Yes.
So what do we say, maybe 2 months tops?
Yes, I think it was 2 or 3 months.
Because she is showing, but she's not like way into her pregnancy.
No.
So not a lot of time has passed, and Kendall is so unhappy that another one of her dwellings has been torched to the ground. She is so grumpy. I can't like her. I just can't work it up to like her. Because she is just so grumpy.
I bet you gotta love her for being so grumpy.
I guess. I don't know. Oh, man. And the thing that gets me is that she just doesn't give a crap. Down in the clone cave, where she knows how sick Cosima is and that she uses oxygen and she's just puffing away on her cigarettes. She does not give a crap. And I'm like, okay, that woman is like terminally ill over there.
But so is she now.
Yeah, well, that's true. I wonder if she has the worm in her cheek.
That would really...
Yeah.
It's possible.
It is, especially since she was definitely in a lab.
Uh-huh.
Way back in...
She dealt with Duncan.
Yeah.
And if it was Rachel's mom that actually developed the worm, then she's got one in her.
That's right. We'll have to see that.
Ooh, and I wonder if it's the worm that actually caused the leukemia.
I'm gobsmacked right now. Is it causing sickness?
It could. It could be gathering DNA information about the person it's in and coming up with a way to eliminate them if it receives a signal.
Or sometimes if you have a foreign body in you, your body tries to attack it.
Yes.
And it also takes resources away and can cause like an autoimmune issue. Yep. Right. That can leave you open to getting other illnesses.
Yes.
And if there's already a predilection, as in the case of them having issues in their uterine area,
right,
then they could be open to getting that illness that they might have an issue with. Oh, so many things. So many things. So in the clone cave, we do find out that Kendall has leukemia. And we find out that from her talking to, what's his name?
Scott.
Thank you, Scott. All these names, I don't know why people put up with the fact that I can't remember names, but okay, so Scott talks to her and they talk about the fact that she is terminally ill with leukemia. And there's a little heart-to-heart there, but she's still cranky and rude. I do like the little scene between Kendall and Cosima where Cosima says, "It's such a pleasure to take your blood again."
Yes.
And she's like, whatever. But I love how Siobhan just kind of puts up with it, rolls her eyes and just, come on, Mom, suck it up.
Please don't get Cosima. She doesn't need to be upset anymore.
Right. Just deal with it. Don't give her a guff.
Yeah.
Yeah, she's ill. And then, of course, the scene on the bed where I love that Siobhan has bonded with the other clones.
Oh, yes, she's Mom.
Right.
She
so
is
great.
the mom of all the clones.
And talking about doing a hit together.
I was hoping she'd go ahead and just take one drag off.
I know, me too. And I like that the show broaches these subjects about medical marijuana.
Yes. Because
that's a big deal in America right now about legalizing marijuana.
Yep.
I mean, it's becoming less and less of a big deal, but it shows that it helps her with her issues with eating. Yeah, her appetite. It will never become legal in my state ever.
No. Because
Virginia, I live in Virginia, it's a huge tobacco state. And it would take away from tobacco.
Yeah.
So they're never, ever going to legalize it here. I mean, I'll be old and gray.
Yeah, they'll be the last state to...
Right. I could technically get a P.O. box in D.C. if I wanted to get marijuana because it's legal there. But I don't break the law. So, well, okay, I do sometimes, but I'm not going to chance that.
Right.
So, yeah, I don't have a lot of hope for it here. But I like that they actually approached that and they made a reference to it, but they didn't like hit us over the head with it.
Right.
It was just great. They referenced that she's doing it for her health, and that it works for her, and that it's nothing big. It's just something that works for her, and it's a decent thing. Right. So very cool. And then she offered some to Siobhan, and Siobhan was like, maybe, I don't know. She's definitely
Mom
not.
Wasn't here.
Right. Exactly.
But we get another animal reference.
Yes.
Chicken.
Yes, chicken.
And Cosima goes, "Oh, please don't call me that. I love it so much."
And don't call me chicken. Yeah, she didn't want that nickname. Hopefully she'll come up with another nickname.
Mm-hmm.
She loves her nicknames.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. I wonder what
picked
nickname.
It up with Monkey, so.
What nickname does she have for Kendall? Lizard?
Yeah, Snake.
Snake, there's that, yeah. It's definitely not one she says out loud.
Yeah, or at least not anymore.
Right.
Now, maybe it has changed, but...
And let's quickly talk about Kira.
Now, I did think it was interesting that, while they're discussing whether they should react or not, Kira's on the bed, and you see her kind of tilt her head. Mm-hmm. And then she gets up and goes to the window. Like
she knows what's happening.
Yeah.
Right? Yeah.
Yes. Does she have supersonic hearing, too?
I know. There's something going on with her, and I really do wish they'd delve into that.
I know.
When are they going to get into that? There is something going on with her, and let us know what it is, guys.
Yes.
Yeah, she has developed
be the big
something.
Surprise at the end.
Come on.
I know.
Come on, I want to know. So she's upset that her dad is out of the country, and I'm doing air quotes right now.
Because he wasn't in Iceland.
Right. And they're not going to see him anytime soon. That's what Sarah told her when she stomps off.
Right.
She's definitely in a phase.
Yes. Yes, she's acting more like a teenager than a 10-year-old or something.
Right. Well, she's getting to that age, I think.
Yes.
And she's definitely older than her age.
Yes.
So I would say that she is acting like a teenager because her brain is a teenager brain.
It could be.
Yeah. So she is not happy. She won't let her mother look in her mouth. And that bothered me because if her mother thinks something is wrong, she should let her look in her mouth, right?
Mm-hmm.
But instead, she goes stomping off. And so we don't know whether she has this worm in her mouth or not.
Right.
We'll find out, I'm guessing.
Yeah, because after Siobhan saw it, I'm sure she's going to say, yes, let's go look at Kira.
Yeah, they're going to want to know who has it. I'm guessing they're going to look into everybody's mouth. Everybody's. So they look in Sarah's mouth, and that worm is there, and yuck and gross.
And if it wouldn't have moved, but that movement was what got her.
Oh, that was disgusting. Just gross. Yeah, and they go to that club and they talk to those people. Now, those people were the same guys last week that were burying the guy in the woods.
In the laundromat, yes.
Right. Well, and the one guy that she met in the club.
No, Dizzy was not.
Oh, he's not the same guy?
No.
Oh, okay. He's just another bearded guy.
Right.
Okay.
He was working with MK.
Okay. So different guy. Mm-hmm. Thank you. I don't know why I thought it was the same guy. I guess I wasn't watching close enough. But they were alerted by her coming to the club, I guess.
Something had to alert them, and what I found more curious was, Dizzy was there, and he was shocked to see what he thought was MK there.
Right.
Because she just doesn't go out in public.
Right.
And that they had a meeting set up at the laundromat.
Right.
Now, maybe he is Neolution, seeing that he was in the club.
Or undercover.
Right. But something tipped the EMTs off.
Right. So is Dizzy working for them or against them or what?
Yeah.
I'm guessing we'll find that out. But for now, he's on our side. At least that's what we're thinking for now.
Right.
But they also could have been tipped off by the fact that they're just watching in the club. So there could be more than one thing. And also they could have been watching the laundromat.
Right.
So there's that. I'd like to think Dizzy's a good guy, but we've been burned before.
Yes, we have.
They definitely need someone on the inside.
Mm-hmm.
He did show her that video.
Yes.
Which goes at least one step in the right direction for me.
Right.
Because he didn't have to show her that.
No.
And that was, again, gross. Just gross. I think of it and it makes my skin crawl a little bit.
Yeah.
Right?
Mm-hmm.
It went right for his eyes and everything.
Yeah.
Ugh, gross. I'm guessing it went like into his brain and everything.
More than likely.
Ooh. Okay.
Killed him or something.
Yeah, it was disgusting. So next week they're going to talk to Dizzy. They're going to do more research on the worms. It looks like there's going to be some more trouble at the Allison-Donny household.
Oh, God, yes.
Yeah. Now, the other storyline in this episode was Art and him finding the video stream. And that was interesting that he saw that right away. Because we knew that that was kind of a lantern.
Right.
That she had that video stream. Now, he found that and he got to see all that background information, and that kind of let him see another side to her.
Yes. That was so painful for him to have to watch.
It was. And I wonder if he put together that day that she had the gun up to Paul, that was the same day that she came over to his apartment, because they were the same clothes she had on.
Mm-hmm.
So it makes me wonder if he knew that was the same day.
It's hard to tell because we didn't see a huge reaction from him.
I know. We didn't see that connect.
Right.
In his eyes or on his face or anything. And I would have liked to see that.
Yes.
Because that would have been very enlightening for him to see that she had that breakdown just that same day, and then she turned to Art for comfort.
Right.
Because I think that he would have appreciated that that she went to him for comfort that day.
Right. Yeah, it would have meant something more to him.
Yeah.
Even
that she needed him that day.
Right.
Yeah. Yeah. And then, he got an insight into what was going on, although I think they had more questions than answers.
Right.
And they found a lot of stuff at her apartment.
Yeah.
A lot of stuff. The drug paraphernalia and the wig and the gun and all that. And they saw some of it on the tape. And then we saw some flashbacks that, of course, they didn't see.
Right. Which was done so well.
Yeah, right? We saw her taking the drugs, and we saw her putting the wig on and getting the gun out. And that was just flashbacks for us.
Right.
So, yeah. And the meeting, of course, with MK, We got to see that with sound, whereas they just saw it on video.
Right.
And that was heartbreaking, I thought, because MK and Beth had a very close relationship, obviously.
Yes.
And, well, a lot of heart-wrenching moments in this episode. And,
Yes, there were.
yeah, and shocking. And then some heartwarming moments, at least one for me. And then some funny moments and some very intriguing setups for next week.
Yeah.
What was your favorite?
Oh, I have to go with Helena, because that was just unbelievable the way Tat and Christian played that scene.
Yeah, I agree. I agree.
That was so awesome. And Donny
So
was
good.
he was a first-time father, just in awe of life.
Right. And he feels connected to those kids.
Oh, yeah.
Because technically they do share the same DNA as his wife's.
Mm-hmm.
So I think he
Uncle
does.
Donny.
Right. He does kind of have a bit of ownership towards them, feel like a little ownership towards them.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I think that's my favorite part too. And we don't get that kind of feel from Orphan Black very often.
No.
And when we do, it's like a little cherished moment.
Yes.
For fans. So, yeah. And, of course, there was the funniness in it as well, where, Helena is always very funny.
Yes, it's gone from, the comic relief has gone from Donny and Allison to Donny and Helena now.
Right, right. Definitely. And that's not all comic relief.
No.
It's like, she's just funny without trying to be funny.
Right.
And then he is playing off her like the straight man, and then they have that kinship, like they feel like outsiders a little bit.
Yeah.
And then that warmness where she's going through this pregnancy and he feels like he wants to be a part of that.
Right.
And I think that's very cool. I hope that they're not heading towards a cheating situation. I don't think they are.
No, I don't think so either.
He loves Allison very much. But I really do think he has very warm feelings for Helena.
Yep.
And I really like their relationship.
Yeah, I have a feeling that Donny is going to be more the brother-sister this season than Felix even.
Right, I think so too. Felix is very pouty. Felix and Kira should get together and just pout in the corner. Don't you think?
Yeah.
They're very pouty. Yeah, maybe that'll wear off, I'm hoping. And I do hope he finds his birth parents.
Yes.
Because we've been wanting that storyline for Felix.
Mm-hmm.
And I would love to see what connection there is, if there's any.
Right.
But
yeah, his parents could be scientists as well.
That's right.
They could be tied in with the whole thing.
Right. And Allison does make it clear that he's not telling anyone that he's searching.
Right.
So if Siobhan knows something, it doesn't matter because he's not telling her.
Yeah.
So Siobhan doesn't have this opportunity to say, oh, you don't want to know.
Yeah.
There is actually something I should stop you from finding out.
Yes.
So I think that might be a clue that there is some connection.
Yeah.
And I think that's going to be interesting this season to see what is going on with him. But why is he so pouty? It's not like they left him on purpose.
No.
You know,
Sarah made it clear that we asked you to come with us.
Right. But he felt like he couldn't, so yeah. I mean, what else could they do? Their lives were in danger.
Right.
So, yeah.
Now, I guess because he did go to London with him and did find out that, yes, he was, Sarah was actually blood related to Mrs. S.
Mm-hmm.
And he isn't, that
he feels very left out.
Right.
Sure. But you don't hold that against her.
No, you can't.
No, it's not her fault.
No.
Right?
Exactly.
The fact that it's not even like Siobhan knew.
No.
No one knew. So,
until that moment. So it's like, come on, Fee, lighten up a little bit.
Yeah. I mean, he does have a right to wallow for a little bit, but it's been a couple months now.
Yeah.
Snap out of it. And it looks like they are kind of snapping him out of it. She's back, so she's going to be able to kick him and get him out of it. So, yeah, great episode, I thought.
Oh, absolutely was.
Yeah. You have anything else that I missed? Did I miss anything?
I don't think so.
Yeah.
Kind of. Yeah, the scene with Beth and MK was just absolutely amazing.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, tear-worthy.
Yes, it definitely got dusty.
Yes, it did. Not onion
No.
cutting worthy, but kind of dusty. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
It kind of, you got that little lump in your throat.
Yes. Yeah, I didn't like that. And especially since we knew that was the night that something snapped in Beth.
Yes.
Whether it actually happened or not, because of course there's conspiracy theories everywhere. But yeah, I agree. And Art, I mean, that's heartbreaking to see Art watching Beth as well. And
yeah, and having to go back to her place and dig through all of that stuff.
Mm-hmm. Yes, lots of difficult things in this episode going on.
Oh, the scene with Duco.
Right. That was another flashback.
Yes.
That they saw a little snippet of it on the tape, yeah?
Mm-hmm.
And so we saw it in a flashback. Yeah, dirty cop.
Big time dirty cop.
Yeah. And I'm guessing we're going to see that unfold more and more.
Right. And I think everybody's pretty much at first thought that's who Beth went after. But thinking about it, they've kind of backed off of it because you would have thought that Art would have reacted a little bit differently to seeing her leave with the gun.
Right. And where is he now?
Yeah. Now, is he still part of internal affairs?
Is he dead?
Is he dead? Is he missing? We don't know.
Yeah, because we haven't seen him in the present timeline.
Right.
At all.
Yeah.
So I hope we find out more about that. Thank you for bringing that up. I forgot.
Yes.
Yeah, and
he is, swarmy as they come.
Yeah, he looks skeevy too,
yes.
Right? Ugh. Yeah, there always has to be someone that's skeevy.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And in the pictures for this season, we also see James Frain.
Yes.
Those were just released, so he's coming up in an episode. I don't know which one, but it looks like he's going to be in an episode, so yay. Is all I can say. I love James Frain.
Yes.
So he's so good. And we know, he turned towards the good side right in the last episode. So, or at least our side, kind of.
Yeah, he hates neo-Lucianists more than anything, so it worked out good for us.
The enemy of my enemy is my friend, right?
Right, exactly.
So, yeah. So, this means since they're pushing back against neo-Lucianists, that he's probably going to help.
Yes.
Probably. So Ferdinand will be most likely on Team Clone?
I think so.
Maybe from the outside.
Right.
It's not like they're going to welcome him with open arms.
No.
But they may go to him for information. He may do some stuff on his own that helps. But, yeah, I don't think he's going to be nefarious like he was last time.
Right.
So, yeah, I'm very happy about that.
And, of course, we probably ought to discuss murderer versus Manslaughterers.
Right. Yeah. Because that's coming up in the next episode, big time.
Yes, it is.
Yeah, so Helena was a murderer.
Trained to be a murderer.
Right. A hitman, essentially, or hit woman.
Mm-hmm.
And Donny and Allison killed accidentally.
Yeah.
Which is saying it nicely. Allison killed her next door neighbor because she thought she was her handler.
Right. So she didn't do anything to save her.
Right. She just allowed it to happen.
Right.
In my book, that's murder.
Yes.
But, yeah, all right. And then Donny went to find Leaky with the intention to kill him, but pulled the trigger by mistake prematurely.
Yeah.
So, again, in my book, murdery.
Yeah.
So, I don't know that I would paint them with a different brush.
No, I don't think so either.
And then covering it up and having sex over the top of the bodies, essentially. No, I think they're murderers too.
Mm-hmm.
Not that they're bad.
No, but yeah, they could be in just as much trouble as Helena if they ever got caught, because you got two dead bodies, you could get them possibly on drug charges, and now insurance fraud.
Mm-hmm. Now insurance fraud, right. Exactly.
So yeah, their list of wrongdoings is growing by the day.
Right. And they haven't covered it up as well as Helena has.
No.
Because they're essentially sitting on top of their crimes.
Yes.
And Helena has ditched her crimes completely.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So
the way they could tie Helena back to, well, unless they find some DNA at Pouchy's place.
Right. Oh yeah. That's right.
Yeah, that's what they're there for.
Yeah, that's true.
So they must be suspicious of the Hendrixes in the drug business.
Right. The killing spree with the paper cutter blade. That was such a great episode last season.
Yes, it was.
Couchy and his lovely family.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And I love seeing the little preview where Helena has the towel on her head and she opens the door.
Yes.
And she has to pretend to be Allison. So great. So yeah, I can't wait. I can't wait to see what happens there. I'm guessing that they're going to get off. They're not going to go to jail over it.
Find anything.
Because of course they're all good guys. In our eyes.
Right.
They're all good guys. So,
but
yeah, I mean,
making them sweat will be worth some awesome comic relief, I'm sure.
Right. I'm guessing. If we saw these crimes in the news, we would want them to fry, right?
Right. Exactly.
However, from our side right now,
so we don't want them to.
That's right. We're good. We're good with what happened. So yeah, I didn't like their next door neighbor very much.
No.
So I'm okay with her demise. As long as it's
Leaky as being a bad guy, but he still was a bad guy. So
right. Yeah, Leaky was. Yeah. Exactly. And I'd be okay if they took Angie out.
Yeah. At least it wasn't Angie that was knocking at the door.
Right.
Though she may.
But we've already seen Angie, even though it was in a flashback.
Yeah.
So if she shows up again this season, can we just,
Yeah.
Helena, go see her, please.
Yes.
So, I do not like you, Angie. I am going to take you out now. All right. So anything else?
No.
I'm glad you brought that up. I had forgotten.
think that does it now.
Okay. All right. I knew I'd forgotten something. With Orphan Black, there aren't just 3 storylines ever.
Oh, no.
So I can't do the ABC thing. I need to add like DEF to it. It's just, I only have A, B, and C here. And I managed to do 2 C stories, but there were more. So, yeah, and we need to keep an eye out on that bad cop. Where has he gone?
Yes.
Keep that in your brain.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so we got our feedback from Justina again.
Thank you, Justina.
Yay, hi, Justina. Hold on. I got to do my... Thanks, Justina. Let me read it for you. Hi, Karen and Steve. Another absolutely wonderful episode of Orphan Black. 9 sock monkeys. Oh, that was sad when the sock
Yes, we lost the sock monkey.
Yeah. I'm really interested in what they do with Kira. Yeah, me too, Justina. I know she has special power because she survived that car accident. Now it seemed like she sensed the Neolutionist before they came over the ridge. See, she caught it too.
Yeah, and I so wanted to hear, they're here.
Right?
It was they're coming.
Right.
Dang it.
I know, right? Well, if they had done they're here, everybody would have laughed at it.
Yeah.
Okay, back to the feedback. I'm so excited to check in with the current timeline. Donny and Helena were so adorable. So many great lines. I think Allison is very jealous of Helena's ability to give birth. Ooh, that's a great point.
Yes.
Do you think she's channeling that?
Uh-huh. Because after Donny leaves, you see Allison pick up the sonogram and look at it.
Yeah.
And she's got one of those wishful looks on her face, like, boy, it wasn't angry.
Right. Just wistful.
Yes.
Like, I wish it was me.
Why can't this be me?
So she may be, like, misdirecting that anger of, like, she's messy, she eats too much, that's really, why can't I have a baby?
Mm-hmm.
That's a good point, Justina.
Just like Rachel.
Yeah. Yes. Although she's not nearly as bad as Rachel, obviously.
No.
I think that finding out more about Felix's past will bring a lot to the story. How did Felix come to Mrs. S? Right. Mm-hmm. Exactly. I'm looking forward to more info on him. The face worm is super scary, gross, and a very compelling level to the rich and exciting mystery. Can't wait to see what happens next. Catch you next week, Clone Club, Justina. Yeah. You echoed all of our sentiments, Justina.
Yes.
I can't wait to find out more about Felix, too. We've been wanting a Felix backstory forever.
Yes, we have.
He's fantastic. One of my favorite characters on the show. Mm-hmm. So, and we got to see his butt again, his really great butt.
Seeing that Big Hit Paul is gone, at least we get one.
That's right. He's got a great butt. So, I'm sorry. I don't apologize. Okay, good.
I'm jealous of it myself.
Are you? Yeah, it's very nice. You know why he paints like that? Because there's not a lot of cleanup.
Exactly.
Because he can leave it on the apron, and then all he has to do is just jump in the shower, and, that's the cleanup.
Yeah. Don't have to worry about ruining any of his clothes.
See? It's very economical that way. So. Plus, butt. You want to give out our feedback information?
All right. Our deadline for providing us feedback is Sunday at 6 p.m. Eastern. You can leave us feedback several different ways. You can leave it on our Facebook group, www.facebook.com/Felixes Helixes. You can email us at felixeshelixes@gmail.com, or you can use the Twitter machine. And get a hold of us there. We do have that set up at Felixes Helixes. or you can tweet at Karen at Aliveria, or you can tweet at me at SalyerSteve.
That's right. And it's Felixes, Helixes without an E in the Felix.
Right.
Or without two E's.
Yes.
Felixs. Helixes.
Right.
Felixes. Helixes. Because it's possessive.
Yes. Just no apostrophe.
Right. Because you can't do that.
No.
And the Gmail is also Felixes, Helixes. So there's that. And just search for Felixes, Helixes on Facebook and you'll find us.
Yes. And hopefully here soon you'll be able to search for Felixes, Helixes on iTunes and find our podcast there.
That's right. We should be showing up there very soon.
Let's
I
hope
think.
so.
We're just waiting on it to get aggregated.
Yes.
So. And I have spoilers for next week. The episode is called The Stigmata of Progress. And it's airing, I know, right? Kind of gross. It's airing on April 28th, 2016 at 10 p.m. Eastern. As Sarah reels from the shocking discovery of Neolution's biotech, she's desperate to find answers. Always impulsive, she follows a lead into a harrowing encounter that requires the help of a reluctant new player. I'm guessing that's, what's his name? The guy from the bar?
Dizzy.
Dizzy. Eager to assist, Mrs. S strikes an alliance with an old nemesis. Ferdinand?
Mm-hmm. Maybe.
Rachel receives a visit from her keeper and takes a fraught step forward towards recovery. Who's her keeper now?
Mama
Duncan?
Yeah, I would think.
I would think so too. Meanwhile, no, that's not it. Meanwhile, there we go. Every time I say meanwhile, I gotta do it. Meanwhile, Helena is mistaken for Mrs. Hendricks when she answers a visit from suspicious visitors. And we know who that is. That's the cops.
So they say.
Well, I'm guessing it's really the cops.
I think so too.
Because that would be nefarious enough. Yeah. Very scary. Sarah is just going to go headlong into the fray, I think.
Yeah.
That's going to cause some issues.
Yeah, that's... Like Art said, Beth and Sarah are a whole lot alike.
They are. They really are.
Uh-huh.
Yeah. And I can see where Art would be very drawn to her.
Yeah.
As a partner, at least.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And I feel bad that Paul's gone. Because they were a good match, I think. Very sad. So now I guess they can commiserate together because their other halves are gone.
Mm-hmm.
Very sad. I can't wait for next week's episode. I don't know about you.
Oh, the way this season has started, it was at Thursday, second after the episode ended.
Right. Yeah, same thing for me. I wish I could binge watch it.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I wish it was a Netflix series.
Right.
So that I could watch them all. Except for I wouldn't do that. I would watch them one at a time so that we could podcast about it, like a Daredevil. But, yeah, it's really good. It's just really good. I think I haven't been this excited about Orphan Black since second season. And that's not to say last season wasn't good. It was. I was just as excited about it, but this season they've really ramped it up.
Yes.
I think. For some reason last season just kind of was a little flatter, and maybe it was the junking up of everything with the other clones.
Right.
And with all the different characters they brought in.
Mm-hmm.
But I think this season, it's like they brought it right back down to their roots, which is finding out what has happened with the clones.
Yep.
And I think it's great. So, wonderful. I cannot wait. I'm on my tenterhooks waiting until...
Yes.
And I don't know about you guys, I'm sure you guys are. And I cannot wait to talk to you again.
Yes.
Next week, Steve.
As always.
And we need feedback from you guys, so get it into us. Helixes@gmail.com. That's FELIXSHELIXEX@gmail.com. Please send in some feedback for us. We'd love to get it.
Yes, we would.
Yeah. And like our Facebook page, please. Felix Helixes.
Yep.
And we'll
already got about 12 likes this week and about 7 or 8 followers on Twitter. So, and that was just from Friday. So
awesome. That's awesome.
Yeah.
Wonderful. We're building back our audience. That's
get our peeps back.
Yay. Well, people didn't know we were moving. We didn't have much of a head start on the season.
Right.
We looked for a home and found it right at the last minute.
Second, yeah.
So, thanks to Rob for hosting us here.
Absolutely.
All right. So, we're back next week, Clone Club. We can't wait to talk to you again, and see you then.
Bye.
Bye.